What's up, party people? Chris from Crashbox here. Looking at some more stuff. We're taking to NJCC, New Jersey Collectors Convention, to just display as showpieces, and we'll sell, some of these pieces that we just kind of make for spec, stuff that we had already, or stuff we were halfway done with, or just ideas we have with things we have laying around. This came out really, really nice. I was really, really pleased with how this came out. This is just a little medieval doorway, archway, with a wooden slat door in the back. And kind of a blown out shape I did, just, variety. And some rubble on the bottom. So, tell a little story about how this guy came to life. This back panel was something that I did with my buddy EE Prime. He and I are both in the Dios Structure Facebook group, and they have a mentor program in there. And I signed up to be a mentor, and he signed up to be mentored, and he and I work together. I think Eric knows a little more than he puts on, but nonetheless, he and I made this door frame to go with a project he was working on. We did a Google Hangouts video call, and then, worked through it, doing the door frame. That's one piece there. All those archway pieces. Each piece is bent. It's cut and bent. So this was completely done by hand. I didn't use my machine for any of it. So it's refreshing to do that. So yeah, so that's all. It's all XPF foam, and the sides are as well. Hand carved out the bricks and everything. The rubble at the bottom actually is kitty litter that I use Mod Podge. I can never say that word. Mod Podge to secure down, and just painted it several different colors. The floor is, of course, our favorite spice. It's cinnamon, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Tastes delicious and looks good under distress. And it's been pretty heavily weathered and painted as well. So let's talk about the door in the back here. The door is made of foam. That is not wood. So it's made of foam. The thin 1/4 inch, I call it fan fold foam. Say that 3 times fast. Fan fold foam. You basically have to buy $50 of it at a time, but it's a damn near lifetime supply. But the same technique I used to make the trees early, I did the door. I notched it out for the boards, and I used an awl to pull it, to open it up, and then I used the wire brush and the awl to put the wood grain in there. I painted it. Let's see, that's black, brown, territorial beige, my favorite color, and then I think a gloss brown on top of it and a little bit of white to get that wood. So the handles. The door handle and the hinges are actually made of wood. How funny is that? So I have metal looking like wood, and foam looking like... wow, that was bad. So I've got foam looking like wood and wood looking like metal. There we go. And those studs that you see there are all actually some finishing nails that I found here in my workshop I didn't even know I had, that I just poked through there and I cut them off in the back. The door doesn't open, but it looks cool enough. And that the little round thing there is just a little eyelet screw that I had a bunch of for another project that I had done. Let's put some figures in here and see what this looks like. I've got some Mythic Legions here we're going to put in here. I've got a green orc. He looks pretty cool in there. Let's see who else we have here. Oh, my main man. I don't know a lot of these Mythic Legions by name, but I know this dude's name is Snag. He's a little goblin dude that steals stuff and drags stuff around, so I really dig him. I think he's a cool figure. And let's see, finally we got I think this is the dwarves. I don't know, some king dude looking all royal and shit with his fancy shield there. So, gotta love the Mythics. And just for giggles, let's put a couple other figures in there. You never know when John Wick might need to, bust down a castle door. He had a life before we knew him. So he looks good in there. And let's see here. Good old beat up Frank. You know, you never know where he's going to wind up. Posed to perfection, I might add. So there you have it. We'll take a look at another piece in just 1 second. All right, so here's the next piece that we're going to have on display, or had on display. I don't know when this will come out. This really cool base plate. We actually made this a while back. This is one of the first kind of not urban gritty things that I did. This is actually cut out these rocks with the X-Carve, just kind of screwing around with it. And I've added some real rocks in here. And with Mod Podge, I don't even remember, maybe some sand in there too. So it's almost like a dry creek bed kind of thing. And then the rest of it is finished with the green texture spray I've shown before, and cinnamon, and just a bunch of oregano. Really is all this loose stuff. So I use a lot of herbs and spices. They don't call me the Colonel or anything, but you know, I get by. Here's something we actually just finished today. I had this idea in my head. I saw a guy on Instagram. I can't remember his name, so shout out to that dude whose name I can't remember, who had made something similar to this, obviously in a lot smaller scale. A lot of the people I watch online model, but they don't model in 12 scale. They're modeling in, you know, 32nd scale or 64th, something very small. But this is my first attempt at a full tree today. So full tree top with standard trunk. And I did a little thicker base just because of the weight this thing was going to have. But this thing is finished all the way around. Let me get my finger out of the camera. And it goes all the way around there. So what this is polyfill, which is stuff you can buy. I actually have the bag right here. Oh, I can't get it. It's in like the craft section at Walmart. It's like $3 for a giant bag. This is about half of that bag. And I just spray painted it a whole bunch of different colors. It's not perfect. I know it's not perfect, but it's the first time I'm trying this. I'm going to take it to NJCC and let some people see it and see what they think. The other guy used flocking on his after he was done. Flocking is this kind of stuff. Not flocking, I guess it's flocking. Clump foliage stuff. It's just a bunch of little not fiberglass, polyester material. I saw people make them out of like old seat cushions and stuff. That kind of plastic. But yeah, all in all, I think this came out pretty good. It looks really good from a distance, especially. It's one of those Monet pieces, is that how they called it? A couple other little things I'll have there as well. This is just a little test I done with the static grass applicator and a little hollowed out log, so you can have a figure character sit on that one. And then the tree I actually made in the video a while back, I'm going to have that there as well. Let's put some figures in here and see what it looks like. We're going to go with the same ones we had. We'll try some other stuff too. So our green orc here underneath the big tree hanging out. And get some pretty cool angles and stuff out of that for you photographers out there. And Mr. Snag there walking down the path. Looking pretty right. And our king here. Don't know why he'd be in the woods by himself, but hey, shit happens, right? All right, and of course we have, you know, all sorts of characters that end up in the woods. I don't know when or where this might happen, but
John Wick 4.
John Wick 4 in the forest.
Yes.
Shout out to Frosted Flakes, my indentured servant / apprentice here at the Crashbox Studios. Let's see, who else might we see? Well, I guess they were close to the woods. I don't know. Get some of that action going on. Look at that.
I think the Ewoks had trails like that.
The Ewoks had trails just like this. This actually is an Ewok trail.
Oh,
thanks
straight
for
from
asking.
The forest moon
straight from
Endor?
The forest moon of Endor. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is a forest trail. So there you have it. Once again, we'll be at NJCC April 5th and 6th. Is it 5th and 6th?
No, tomorrow's the 5th.
The 6th and 7th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cherry Hill, New Jersey at the Holiday Inn. If I saw you there, it was cool to see you. Otherwise, you know, see you on the internet. Crashbox Customs on social media. Give us a like and a subscribe. Share this video if you think it's cool. Man, I made a tree.